Hello dear students, welcome to Business Studies, Unit number 3. The lesson name is Globalization of Business. Before I explain this lesson, I conduct a small activity. Are you ready? Yes. What do we understand from this picture? See dear students, you can see this picture. What do we understand from this? In this world, all the continents are linked. That is what it is showing now. I will explain about this later. One more picture I show you. Come on, name this building. Can you name this building? If you observe closely, you can identify. Yes, you are correct. This is World Trade Organization, the building of World Trade Organization. The export and import activity, the interdependence among the nations, the global business in the world has reduced this world into a small village. The trade was there right from the beginning of human life, but nowadays the trade has reached its zenith. The trade has reached its Himalayan height. What is that? Today, as the natural resources are not equally distributed, no nation can fulfill all the requirements on its own. They need to depend on the other nation to fulfill their requirements. We have huge amount of iron ore, manganese ore, etc., and we export it to other countries. This export and import has made us to depend on others, and other nations have depended on us. So, this world trade has reduced the entire world into a small village. Dear students, you are going to learn the third lesson in business studies called Globalization of Business. You are going to learn the following concepts in this chapter. They are meaning of globalization, the factors included in globalization, main characteristics of globalization, advantages of globalization as well as disadvantages of globalization, and at the last you study about World Trade Organization, that is WTO. These are the concepts you are going to discuss in this lesson. Dear students, first of all let us know the introduction to this lesson. After 1980, the world's economy witnessed a fast growth. Globalization achieved great progress in the economic reforms of developing countries. Most of the developing countries adopted globalization. Globalization achieved great progress in the economic reforms of developing countries. Most of the developing countries resorted to trade more than ever before. The achievements in technology, communication and internet communication systems have made large business units as global units. Today, technology, that is what in the introduction itself I showed you a picture where all the continents of the world were linked with the network. So, the development in internet technology, computer technology and even transportation, the world has been reduced into a level of small village. Many large units today have their producing companies, trading companies in different parts of the world. Let us see the impact of global business. Due to this, the close relation and interdependence among the countries of the world has increased. Due to the technology, internet communication and even transportation, the close interdependence among the nations of the world has increased, and that has led to other impact also. What are those? We will learn one by one. Before that, dear students, let me teach you what is globalization as per IMF. You know that the full form of IMF is International Monetary Fund. IMF defines globalization as, see dear students, globalization has been defined in these words by IMF. Let us understand this. the growing economic interdependence of countries worldwide through increasing volume and variety of cross-border transaction in goods and services and of international capital flow, and also through the more rapid and widespread diffusion of technology. This is what IMF has explained globalization. What is this? A very lengthy explanation of how to understand. Dear students, for your better understanding, I am giving you some highlights of this definition. See here the highlights of this definition. The growing economic interdependence of countries worldwide. That means that the first clue that we got it here is economic interdependence among the countries. Secondly, increasing volume and variety of cross-border transaction. Cross-border, we are exporting huge amount of items, huge amount of raw materials are imported as well as exported. Secondly, we are not only exporting the goods, but also services, and also international capital flow. Today, people are investing huge amount of money, billions of dollars in other countries. So, they want to invest not only in their country, they need to invest even in foreign countries. That is what the impact of globalization. And globalization also has led to the diffusion of technology. Technology is widespread. Technology is spreading faster today. That is also a highlight of this definition given by IMF. Now, let us understand factors included in globalization. Which are the factors included in globalization? We shall see one by one. First of all, globalization encourages international capital and trade, overcoming the political barriers among the countries. See, dear students, today a man can have breakfast in Mumbai airport and can have lunch in England, and he can reach America for his dinner. That means, in the field of transportation, we have witnessed a revolution. A revolution has been achieved in the field of transportation. Likewise, even in the technology, sitting in India, we can access the product of US, you can access the product of UK, Canada or Australia. At the same time, you can export the product to the different corners of the world. All this has been made possible, it is because of globalization. Dear students, globalization has made people to invest in the cross border. Today, a capitalist in India never minds to invest in African country, an Australian never minds to invest in England, or Japanese and Chinese can jointly invest in Canada. All these have been made possible because of globalization. Globalization has led to the spread of technology. Globalization has led to the more investment. Globalization has led to the spread of technology and capital flow and increased interdependence among the nations. This is what globalization is. It creates free trade zone by removing the import and export duties. See, before 1990, there were many export and import duties restrictions, but today most of these export and duties have been abolished or removed by WTO. Through container service in shipping, it reduces the transportation expenses. By carrying these huge amount of goods from one place to another on waterways, even the transportation expenses also come down. This is a factor included in globalization. Globalization helps to reduce restrictions on capital investment. I told you there is no restriction on the investment. There may be political dispute between the two nations, but there is no restrictions on the investment. Anybody can invest in any country in this world. It removes the barriers on capital flow. That is what, there is no restriction on the flow of capital and technology too. Dear students, now let us understand main characteristic features of globalization. What are the main characteristic features of globalization? First of all, globalization increases economic practices like outsourcing by multinational corporation. Many multinational companies have outsourced their work to the developing and underdeveloped countries. For example, India is a developing country. India is receiving many such jobs from the foreign country, and it has created lakhs of jobs in India. For example, Bengaluru. Bengaluru is called Silicon City. In this Silicon City, lakhs of software technicians are working day night serving European, American companies. The software which is required by the European and American companies are attended by the Indian companies, and these companies have got the outsourced job from these companies. So, it increases the economic practices like outsourcing by multinational corporations. It creates international cultural exchange. Because of globalization, Indian culture is spread to the foreign country, and the foreign culture also spreads in India. Indian culture spreads in foreign country. This is made possible because of globalization. And also, globalization spreads multiculturalization and better individual access to cultural diversity, and it creates international travel and tourism. Today, because of technology, because of transportation services, I told you the world has been reduced to a level of small village. It is very simple and easy to have a touring of Europe or American countries or African countries. Greater immigration, including illegal immigration. Dear students, because of globalization, many people from foreign country are immigrating to India. And at the same time, the negative effect of it, I tell you, illegal immigration without any visa, without passport, they just cross the border. So, illegal immigration is also increasing. That is a negative effect of globalization. It spreads local foods such as pizza and Indian food to other countries. Dear students, the food of European country, pizza, is spread or it is popular in Indian urban centers, and Indian food like idli, dosa, upma and the native food is made popular in foreign countries. Likewise, even Beijing and Chinese dishes are made popular in developing countries like India and other countries. It is all because of globalization. Development of global telecommunication infrastructure, transfer border data flow, these are all made possible because of globalization. Globalization increases international trade at a faster rate for the growth of world economy. Today, the present economy is unmatchable, uncomparable with that of 2000 and 2010. Today, economy is growing faster. Any new product comes in European market, within a day or two, it is there available in the Indian market and Indian showrooms. It is made possible because of globalization. It increases the international flow of capital, including foreign investment. Many people invest in India, and Indians are allowed to invest in the foreign country. That is because of globalization. It creates international agreements leading to organizations like WTO and OPEC. WTO means World Trade Organization. OPEC means oil produce and exporting countries. These organizations have come into force. It is because of globalization. So far you understood the main characteristics of globalization. Now let us understand what are the advantages of globalization. What advantages we get from this? Shall we see? Now, first of all, globalization promotes economic growth. Today, globalization has created millions of jobs in the developing countries, especially in the IT and BT sector. This has led to the economic growth. This is one point. Secondly, it helps to increase the standard of living of the people. Again, this has created job, I told you, many people, many youngsters who have got their master degrees, they have secured the job in IT and BT sectors and their life standard has increased. That is another notable point here. That is an advantage in globalization. Globalization has given them employment, and because of the employment, their standard of life, their purchasing capacity has increased. It increases the GDP of a country. Gross domestic product also is increasing because of globalization. Globalization has made the availability of similar type of products all over the world. Wherever you go, you get the particular product which is famous all over the world is available. With a variation of small differences in rate or price, you will get the product. So, a variety of product of similar kind. It has helped in increasing the income of the people, and customers are offered wide variety of choice of goods and services. Today, see, during 1980s and 1990s, very limited choice was there for customer. Today, you go to any shopping mall, you go to any market, you will get variety of products of similar kind and with different prices. It is all because of globalization. This is an advantage. Globalization creates competition for the local firms and thus keeps the costs down. Because of competition among the companies, no company can cheat customers by increasing the price, because there is a competitor. Because of the competitor, there is a controlled pricing, there is a justice even in fixing the price for the products. It promotes specialization. Globalization leads to specialization because particular product is produced by a particular company, and because of the research and inventions in that, they become specialized in such products. Dear students, let us discuss the disadvantages of globalization. So far you learnt advantages of globalization and learnt few points. Now it is the time to learn disadvantages of globalization. Actually, this is a debatable issue, whether globalization has helped Indians or it has adversely affected Indians. So, it is a debatable issue. You decide whether globalization has helped us or not by seeing the disadvantage point also. Dear students, first of all, globalization has led to an increase in activities such as child labor and slavery. Dear students, many of us, many European and American nations, so those products are being dumped here and our native industries have almost stopped producing those because they are unable to compete with them. So, we have become almost slaves to those companies. For example, mobile phones, laptops, any electrical and electrical gadgets, these companies are dumping the products in Indian market and Indian companies unable to face competition with these products. And also globalization has led to child labor. How? Because many of the native companies, they need to finish the production within the fixed date. They are not able to hire the laborers with special skills. Therefore, they are recruiting even adolescent laborers and even sometimes small children to get the work done at a cheaper rate. So, this has led to the child labor. So, the first disadvantage of globalization is it has led to child labor and a practice like slavery to the European and American products. Globalization has resulted in an unethical practices in business dealings because of cutthroat competition among the companies. They are advertising their companies, and in order to gain control over the market, in order to convince the customers, they are practicing unethical dealings, unethical business dealings. This is the negative or disadvantage of globalization. It has also observed that globalization has helped terrorists and criminals because it allows free flow of capital. Any businessman can invest in any country of the world. So, anybody, even a supporter of terrorism, can invest in any other country in the name of globalization, and indirectly he may indulge in terrorist and criminal activity. So, this is another disadvantage of globalization. One more disadvantage you have here, that many nations, many metropolitan corporations, many metropolitan cities are becoming garbage dump areas where all the industrial waste is accumulated and pollution levels are sky high today. Say take for example Bengaluru, Chennai, Hyderabad or Kolkata, Mumbai, these metropolitan cities are becoming garbage dump areas because of many electrical, electronic used devices. So, that means these companies are dumping huge amount of products, and as a result pollution level is also going high. One more negative effect is it has affected our native food items, native food habits, because people are developing craze towards foreign food style, particularly fast food chain like McDonald's and KFC. These are fast food chains which may not be healthy for our people, but the food chain, fast food chains like McDonald's and KFC are spreading fast in the developing world, and also it has led to the degradation of health and spread of diseases. So, people are losing the health. Globalization has led to spread of diseases. Many viral diseases, communicable diseases are coming to India at the time of importing food, especially the meat. When we import the meat from foreign country, there is a chance of getting virus from foreign countries. Likewise, one more disadvantage of globalization, dear students, it is rich are getting richer, rich people are becoming richer day by day, and the poor are struggling for a square meal a day. So, rich people are becoming richer, poor people are becoming poorer, and they are finding difficult to find a square meal a day. This is really shocking. This is one of the disadvantages of globalization. Some of the deadly viral diseases such as AIDS and cancer, dengue fever, all these are spreading faster. Now we are facing Corona-19, 2019. This is also an adverse effect of globalization, because people move across the world carrying the diseases, carrying the viral diseases from one nation to another and spread to the local people also. Globalization has led to environmental degradation. This is also a disadvantage. Pollution has severely impacted the quality of air that we need so much for our survival. This is also a shocking thing. Dear students, now we will discuss the last topic of the lesson, World Trade Organization, that is WTO. World Trade Organization is the only global international organization dealing with the rules of trade between the nations. It is very, very important to keep the trade move on among the nations. If peaceful trade transactions to take place, then an organization like WTO is very much required. World Trade Organization's office is located at Geneva in Switzerland, and it was established on 1st January 1995. Dear students, you have already learned this in political science 5th lesson, international institutions. There in UNO you have studied WTO. At present, there are about 162 countries of the world are the members of WTO. The major functions of WTO, let us understand the major functions. First of all, WTO tries to bring into force trade agreements throughout the world. So, its major function is to arrange meetings and bring trade agreements among the nations. It administers the world trade agreements as a mediator. It works as an agent between the nations. It creates stress-free and independent trade throughout the world, independent trade throughout the world, and it solves all trade related disputes. It strives to reduce tax in international trade and also brings international trade under legal framework. WTO assists under the developed nations it assists underdeveloped nations to get more facilities in international trade. All these are the major functions of WTO. Dear students, now let us discuss aims of WTO. WTO's main aim is to bring down the living cost and raise the standard of living by creating employment opportunity and also helping the nation to export more. It settles the disputes and reduces trade tension among the countries. This is also one of the aims of WTO. It stimulates economic growth and creates employment opportunity. It reduces the cost of doing business internationally. Today it is very easy for a capitalist to invest in other countries. WTO helps him to invest and thereby it creates employment opportunity in such developing and underdeveloped countries. It encourages good governance and also contributes to promote peace and stability of member countries. All these are aims of WTO. Dear students, so far I taught the lesson number 3 in business studies, globalization of business. Now I recapitulate whatever I taught so far. We learnt about meaning of globalization and also understood the IMF's definition on globalization. We discussed about the factors included in globalization and also the advantages and disadvantages of globalization. We discussed World Trade Organization as well. Now it is the time for assignment. Now I give you assignment. In your textbook page number 147, you have about 6 to 7 questions. You have to answer them seeing the textbook and then you show it to your teacher, and I hope you have understood this lesson very well. You do this exercises. Questions you have: what is globalization? Explain. Globalization is a worldwide economic movement. Substantiate your answer. Advantages of globalization, characteristics of globalization, negative aspects of globalization, and the sixth question is what are the aims of World Trade Organization. All these you answer and show it to your teacher. Dear students, I wish you have understood the entire lesson. I wish you all the best. Dear students, I hope you have understood all these concepts. I wish you all the best. I am Srinivasa Prasad, teacher in Social Science and English. I am teacher in St. Joseph Indian High School, Bengaluru. All the best. Thank you.